This shouldn't stress me out, but it does, because there's so much shit on my desk right now. And I'm going to do my best of the year series and show you how what's come out this year stacks up to some of my all-time favorites. But there is so much shit on my desk that it is freaking me out. So today we're going to talk primarily about base products. So primers, moisturizers, powders, foundations, and concealers. So if that sounds good to you, to look at some base products that came out this year and hear my thoughts, then I would really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, follow along, share me with your friends and your enemies, I don't know, and shop my links because it greatly helps out my channel. So this was actually a pretty good year, shockingly, for foundations, concealers, and base products. There weren't as many like high-profile concealer releases as there was last year. You know, last year, if you think we had Danessa Myricks, we had Victoria Beckham. There's not quite as many this year, but what did come was actually really good. So I think what we'll do is we're going to start with primers and moisturizers. So let me grab them and I'll be right back. Okay, so primers, moisturizers, etc. A good amount of them came out this year. I don't have a ton that I tried, but I do have a few things that I tried that I quite liked. So first of all, as a moisturizer, I know this didn't technically come out this year, but I discovered it this year during the summer sale, and it is the Chantecaille Gold Recovery Mask. Sophia C's Beauty turned me on to this, and it just takes a very little of it. You put it on before you go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, your skin is so soft and so radiant, and then you do wipe it off because it does leave kind of a golden residue, but it pairs beautifully with some of my all-time favorite primers from Chantecaille, the glow tints, the rose glow tint, the gold glow tint. And so I just wanted to mention this because although it's not brand new, it's something I discovered this year, ungodly expensive, so wait for it to go on sale. Okay, so Danessa Myricks. Well, she came out with an extension of her blurring balm. She came out with some new shades, which is great. I already had my shade, 4 or 5, depending on the time of the year. So I didn't try that, but she did come out with a shade extension of her Yummy Skin Glow Serum. Now, for the longest time, there was this kind of universal color that was kind of a golden shade. But this year, she came out with a pink and kind of a bronzy color. Of the Danessa Myricks primers, this one's probably my favorite. She has a variety of priming type products, but this one just leaves a really beautiful finish. And I find that I can use any of these, even the dark brown in the summer, because I'll put foundation on top of it anyway. But it just gives a lot of hydration, and I really like the effect. So the new colors are Fresh Pressed, which is the pink, and Juice Boost, which is the copper. The OG is Main Squeeze. And I really love these. They provide a lot of hydration. Okay, some others that I tried that I really liked. Well, Merit has had their serum primer for a number of years, and I've always quite liked it. It gives a beautiful base for any kind of stick foundation, like the Merit, like the Tom Ford, RIP, like the Dior, Westman Atelier. Well, this year they came out with the moisturizing version of that. I quite like this. It is a cream version of the original sort of serum. I think I still prefer the serum, but this is a very nice, lightweight priming moisturizer. Speaking of priming moisturizers, there were a few others that were new this year that I discovered. This one is the Rich Barrier Cream from Versed. This is an affordable kind of priming product that you can find at Target as well as on their website. It's really affordable. It's got that top where you just kind of press down and it comes out, so it's hygienic. I find it to be a really nice low priced actually, kind of primer. And it does a good job of kind of giving me that barrier. And it can be used on its own too. So I really like it. One that I've really enjoyed that's good for giving me some glow and priming is this, and this is not new, but it's the Ambience La Creme Concentrate. This is a product of France, and it's just a beautiful hydrating base that you can put under your makeup, and I've really enjoyed it. It's an alternative. It's kind of similar to the Versed and the Merit, but this one's a little more concentrated. Talking about skincare, the Edam brand came out with this cashmere peel AHA and PHA toner, which I've really enjoyed. It's not stripping my skin raw, and I do have some dry spots, and it hasn't really affected that. It's really mild and light, so I have enjoyed it. And while I'm on priming, I might as well talk a little bit about lid primers and lip primers. Two that I love is the Dr. Dennis Gross Plump and Repair Lip Treatment. That's not new, but one that did come out that I really quite liked is also from Edam, and it's the La Chouchou Lip Softening Balm. It just gives you the most beautiful base. So what I like to do is when I'm starting my makeup, I'll put this on and then remove it right before I do lipsticks, particularly mattes. And it gets rid of any kind of like dry spots or places where a matte, even the most high-end mattes, could kind of snag or build up. And so that's something I've really enjoyed. When it comes to eyeshadow primers, the only real new one that I tried is from About Face. This I quite like. I wouldn't say that it's on par with my Rare Beauty or my Pat McGrath. The Rare Beauty is still my favorite. But it's a very nice, affordable eyeshadow primer. And while I'm at it, About Face also has a lip primer that I quite like, and it's also very affordable. The last three are on the more luxury side. And the first one is from Tom Ford. This came out this holiday season, and it is the Apres Glow Serum. So you can put this on over foundation, you can put it on under foundation. It just gives you a beautiful glow, and it acts as a very nice slippy primer for something to go on top of. Moisturizers. I have for the longest time wanted Dame Pat McGrath to come out with a moisturizing cream version of her Rose Essence, which I have been touting for years. I love this product. Right when you get out of the bath or your pores are open, just put some of it on and it gives you a beautiful glow. Well, this year she released her cream version of it, and I would say that this is on par, if not even better, than like the Tatcha water cream, which I really love. This one's very light. It's certainly lighter than like the Charlotte Tilbury one. I really love this, and this has become a staple. Now, where do these fall with some of my all-time favorites? Well, I still really love the Tom Ford primers, the matte and the glowy one. I love the YSL primer. There's a lot of primers that I still really love, but I will say that this has been something that I've added and I've really enjoyed. And then, of course, like I said, I love that Chantecaille product, and those Danessa Myricks Glow Serums are really outstanding. While we're talking about like primers and body stuff, I don't know where else it would go. This from Fenty, this like glowy body serum. It's like a lotion with sparkle in it. Sounds like it would be great for like a festival or for like Pride. It's kind of a nightmare. It has a very weird texture, and it leaves behind a film on the skin. I could see its point for like a festival or something, but I wouldn't recommend this. And there's a lot of like primers and things that I really do recommend that came out this year. Another really popular one, do I have it? Yes, that came out is from Fenty. She came out with a series, the glowy one and the matte one. I've only used it a few times, but I really enjoy it. My best friend really loves the matte version, So I think that this is a really nice product and an expansion of obviously the Fenty line, which is so successful. Okay, let's get to what we probably all came for, which is foundations and concealers. So I'm gonna grab them and I'll be right back. So concealers. I didn't try a ton of concealers this year. I did try some new ones to me, and I'm going to talk about those in a minute with their foundations because they work so beautifully with their foundations. But I did try, let's see, it looks like 7 new concealer products this year. And so I wanted to kind of briefly go over them, although only 2 of them would end up in sort of my all-time favorites. So my all-time favorites are Gucci. I love the Gucci concealer, the Chanel Sublimage, Pat McGrath if I want full coverage, Westman Atelier is really nice. There were only 2 in here that really I would add. So one of those actually was kind of the first thing I tried in the year. And this isn't a traditional concealer, but it's hard to believe this came out this year. But it's the Lisa Eldridge Spot Concealing Pencil. So this is a really nice product for if you have little spots that you want to cover, if you have persistent kind of red spots or discoloration. This is a great product. I will say it's pretty pricey and you would go through it really fast if you used it a lot. So I only tend to use it on days where I really do have a lot of redness or something that I want to cover up. But I believe the rumor is that Miss Eldridge is working on a liquid concealer. And I'm looking forward to that because I think that that will work beautifully with both her foundation and with her skin tint, which we know is so popular. Okay, so some other ones I tried this year. Well, RMS came out with a new concealer. They had their pot concealer that's kind of that heavier kind of cream gel one, but they came out with a liquid one, and this one I actually quite liked. I would say that it gives you some hydration. It looks really pretty under powder. I would say I don't know that it's necessarily the most long lasting, but it is a beautiful product. And this is one that I think, would work on a lot of people, particularly those with like mature under eyes. Okay. Some that I tried that I did not particularly like. The Versed concealer. This one I really struggled with. I actually struggled with, I'm just going to talk about it now since we're here, the foundation and the concealer. This is the baby brand or the baby sister brand to Merit, which is a brand I really love. But for whatever reason, these looked quite heavy on me and were not overwhelmingly flattering. So although they could work on some, and they're a very good price, especially for a natural product, they're certainly more affordable than like the Merit. You can get these at Target, like I said, or on their website. But for me, these just didn't work. They looked quite heavy. And so I'm going to probably end up gifting those. One that I thought was kind of interesting is from Tier. I have not jumped on the Tier train. I've got a couple of their products. I obviously have that cushion foundation that everybody was going nuts for last year. I think it's fine. I think it looks fine. It doesn't blow me away. Obviously, it's convenient because it's in a compact. But this is actually kind of nice. The foundation part down here, it's okay. I think that it works nicely. It's very affordable. The thing I do like is that it contains this stick formula on this side, which I think is really nice for spot concealing. And so I would say for the price, this is actually really good, particularly for like spot concealing. It's kind of similar in a way to the Lisa Eldridge, but of course you're getting so much more product with this. And this down here, the traditional concealer, again, it's fine. It's just nothing that was really spectacular. If you want something that's affordable, I will say that the About Face concealer, and while we're here, let me go ahead and grab it. This came out in October to go with the About Face foundation. These are excellent products for the price in particular. These are available at Ulta and on their website. I think that they're both under $20. They're about the best sort of drugstore, slightly more than drugstore I have found. For drugstore, I really like L'Oreal True Match as far as like a foundation, but this reminds me of a thinner, a more affordable version of like the Pat McGrath. It's a very thin, natural looking foundation, and the concealer is quite similar. I don't think it's as good as the Pat McGrath, but it's a really nice product for the price. Oh, there's one more. Wait a minute, I forgot one. I knew this was gonna happen, despite my best intentions. Yeah. So this is actually one that I tried that's new that I actually did quite like. And this is the Skin Mimetic Concealer from Make Beauty. I quite liked this, and while I'm here, I might as well, do I have it? Yeah, talk about their skin tint. I really like this skin tint. I think it's a really nice product, and these are both fairly affordable. You can get them on the Make Beauty website. The concealer I found to be really nice and lightweight, sort of like the Gucci, sort of like the Tower 28. I didn't have a problem with creasing. My best friend tried it and had quite a bit of creasing. So I definitely would recommend using like a lightweight powder, but these are very nice products from sort of an indie brand or a smaller brand. Finally, the concealer that I definitely will be adding to my all-time favorites has not hit the United States yet, but it did come out overseas in the fall, and it is the Chanel Le Tint concealer. This will be coming out in late January, I have heard. This is the most perfecting, beautiful, thin concealer. It's very lovely. It reminds me, I'm trying to think of it's almost self-setting, a little bit like the Westman Atelier. It's certainly different than like my Chanel Sublimage. This is certainly more convenient. That one comes in the little tub. But this is such a beautiful, perfecting, could self-set. I still use a little bit of a lightweight powder, but a beautiful concealer that we can look forward to in the new year. And while we're at it, I'll go ahead and pull, where is it? The new reformulation of the Ultra Le Tint foundation. I don't tend to like matte foundations. This one's not. It's a natural look, so it's not like the YSL matte. It's not that matte. It's not that starkly matte, or even the Lisa Eldridge matte or traditional is very matte on me. This is a more natural finish. These work so beautifully together for a long-lasting, perfect kind of look. These should be coming out. I think this one maybe already has come out in the States, but this one will be coming out in the States in late January. And while we're at it, things to look forward to, Prada is coming out with their concealer, and Prada's foundation is one of my all-time favorites. So I would say out of this, I would probably add the Lisa Eldridge for spot concealing, but this one would definitely go into sort of my all-time top 5 with, you know, Tower 28, Westman Atelier, Gucci, Pat McGrath, you know, some of my all-time favorites. So grab this when it comes out in January. And the Le Tint line normally comes out at Ulta, and you know, they have coupons that do work on Prestige every so often, so grab it when it comes out. Okay, foundations coming up. So obviously I like different foundations for different things. If I want something that's very lightweight, I can run to Pat McGrath. If I want something that's very full coverage, I can go to something that's very perfecting. If I want long wearing, I can grab like that Chanel or like the YSL. But I did try a couple of foundations this year. Some of them are excellent. And two of them, I'm looking, 2.5 of them may be added to my all-time favorite foundations, which those are like the Tom Ford, I'm trying to think of what else, the Chanel Sublimage, the Prada, the Pat McGrath. There's just some that I really love, and then the original Tom Ford stick, but the Dior stick's pretty good too. But these are some that I tried this year. So the first one that I recall came out in the early part of the year, and it was the Forever Hydra Nude by Dior. I really like this foundation. It's quite glowy. It's got a nice finish. It's got a beautiful amount of coverage. I'm a 2.5 in. The thing that kind of is interesting about this is just a few months later, Givenchy came out with their Glow Serum Foundation. And I think if I put these two on my face, you could tell some very distinct, kind of tiny, tiny differences, but you couldn't tell the difference. These are both really stunning foundations. For something that's a little bit glowier. So I would recommend these. And when I said 2.5, well, there are two in here that I think will definitely be in my top 5. And then these two would kind of be that 0.5, because if I want something that's kind of a warhorse and glowy and will work, and I know it's going to work, I will grab these. They may not be as long lasting as a matte or natural finish, but they are beautiful glowy foundations. While we're talking about glowy foundations, YSL introduced their All Hours Glowy Foundation. This will be coming out in the States in the spring. It's come out already overseas in the European market and in the Asian market. I have mine in LC3, and I do like this. I don't think, for some reason, these are glowy, but they're slightly more blurring. With this one, unless I set it with a really super fine powder, my pores do look larger. So you just want to be careful. But the YSL foundations do perform beautifully. This is obviously not going to be as long lasting as their matte, but it is long lasting. I would say this is probably a little more long lasting. These are probably a little bit more flattering. But for glowy foundations, it's nice to have these options, although I would say these two are probably better than this one. But this should be coming out in the spring, and I definitely would say if you're a big YSL fan, then definitely try it. Okay, skin tints. Well, we had two that I tried. There's the Merit Uniform and the Giorgio Armani Skin Tint. These are the ones I tried. I preferred the Giorgio Armani. I know Gucci also came out with one. The reason I prefer it is that this one has sunscreen in it. So it's obviously going to run, and it's a mineral sunscreen. So it's obviously going to run a little bit thicker. That being said, they both look beautiful on the skin. This one you would just put sunscreen down first, and then this. This one has a mineral sunscreen in it, which you do have to sometimes be careful about because they can create a cast. But these are both lovely skin tints. Would I say that they're up there with my all-time favorites? No, I still like the Lisa Eldridge one. The Danessa Myricks one I still think is probably the best of the skin tints. But these are lovely products. There was another big foundation release that went along with its concealer that came out, I think, a year and a half ago and was so popular. And I always describe the concealer as a warhorse, will work for most everybody. And I can say that about the foundation too. And that's the Natasha Denona foundation. It's a beautiful foundation. It's kind of like, it's natural, but it's kind of like the hybrid of the ones that I've showed you. It's not outstanding. It's not one of my all-time favorites, but it's very long-lasting. It's got a good amount of coverage that can be built up to almost a full coverage. And so I actually quite like this product. And I would say if you are unsure what you're looking for in a foundation, this would be a good foundation because it's incredibly long-lasting. It's quite perfecting. And I think that it gives you kind of a beautiful natural finish. So this is going to work for a great amount of people. Okay, so the two that I definitely would add, and I would say these two are so high up in my foundations. They may be top 3. And that would be 2 foundations that came out this year. One is brand new, one came out as a reformulation. But they both came out to pair with some of my favorite light concealers. And those would be the light concealers from Chantecaille and Victoria Beckham. These are both beautiful, lightweight concealers. And so we all waited with anticipation for the foundations. With Chantecaille, they had the foundation before, but they re-released it and it's reformulated, and they extended their color range. I Am Macadamia, which is one of the new colors. This is outstanding as a foundation. It's very beautiful. It's extremely lightweight. It has a cooling sensation. It's just really lovely. And get it when they have the Chantecaille sales, or get the bundles when they have the Chantecaille sales, because this is definitely one of my top foundations that I have in my collection. It can build up to a nice medium, but it's such a beautiful, lightweight, maybe not going to last the longest. It's not going to last as long as like a matte, but it's a beautiful, lightweight, kind of perfecting, which is hard to say with something that's kind of natural and glowy. But I really love it. I'm sorry about this next one because I know it's ungodly expensive. The Victoria Beckham with Augustinus Bader foundation. This is spectacular. I know that some people find it to be a little bit oily. And I guess that's dependent. I have not found that. It does have to be shaken aggressively for a few seconds before you use it. But it is the most beautiful formulation. It is more than a skin tint, so that's why I didn't include it earlier when I was looking at skin tints. This one is got more coverage. I think it's a little more perfecting. It's just really beautiful. It pairs beautifully with the Augustinus Bader Victoria Beckham concealer. Obviously there's bundles and sales, so wait for them because these are so expensive, but it's a really beautiful product. It's lightweight, it's natural in finish, but just really beautiful, and every time I wear it, it just looks so nice. So these two would definitely be added to my sort of all-time favorites, but it was a pretty good year when it comes to foundations. And I would also remind you of like that Make Beauty skin tint. I really enjoyed that, and that's an affordable, as well as like the About Face. Those are more affordable options. These are not affordable, but catch them on sale, save up, because I personally think they're well worth it. Beautiful, beautiful products. Okay, let's finish with powders and setting sprays. I'll grab them. Be right back. Okay, powders and setting sprays. This one did not come out this year. It came out towards the end of last year. And I said, who in the world is going to spend $90 on a setting powder? And then I got it as part of a Sephora sale this spring. And I realized it's a really good setting powder. And it's the one from Prada Beauty. And I'm sure it's going to work beautifully with their new concealer, their foundation. It has that same sort of slippy texture that like their highlighters have that came out this year that were so beautiful. It's just a really beautiful, it's got a slight color correction in it. It's got that beautiful Prada smell, which I know some people might hate, but I actually really like it. And I'm not a big fan of scents in beauty products, but Prada I've always really quite enjoyed. So this is one that I definitely would recommend. It came out last year, but I discovered it this year. Givenchy redeemed themselves. They had my all-time favorite loose setting powder, and then they reformulated it and took out the talc, which added a little bit of shine, and I don't think it's quite as good. But then they came out with this pressed setting powder, and this is actually very good. This is quite excellent. It comes with a little brush, and then I have mine in this colorway, but they've got 6 or 7, and I know that they're coming out with some more. There's even some limited edition ones. They look pretty much like this, so I don't know what the difference will be. But this is a beautiful pressed setting powder, and it's as close to that original Givenchy. It's much closer than the new reformulation. This is a really lovely setting powder, and it's actually handy with a little brush. This can get under the eyes. It can help set and fill in pores. So this is a really lovely product. Christian Dior came out with some setting powders. They came out with some matte ones, and then they came out with this one called Luminescent, which is supposed to give you like a glass skin effect. It does not give you a glass skin effect. However, it's a beautiful setting powder. As you can see, it's kind of transparent. It's got a little bit of shine, but it's not, I don't really get glass skin out of it, but it is a beautiful setting powder. It's a little bit drier than the others, certainly drier than the Prada, but really beautiful. I quite like this one. Okay, affordability wise, I always say that Danessa Myricks has a beautiful, affordable setting powder that I think is actually a really good alternative to that Givenchy discontinued one. Another very nice setting powder that rivals the Danessa Myricks, I think they're both quite good, is the About Face setting powder, and I believe they came out with some new colors. This one is called Finale. This is the Curtain Call setting powder. It's a loose setting powder, but really beautiful, and so I quite enjoy it. I still think, that the original Givenchy, the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder, I'm trying to think, the Danessa Myricks setting powder, and maybe the Prada and the new Givenchy pressed are kind of my all-time favorites, but these other ones are quite nice. My all-time favorite is not new, but I tried it this year. I'm sorry, I understand the price is expensive, but maybe try to get it when like Bloomingdale's or Nordstrom is doing a beauty sale. And it is the La Prairie Caviar setting powder. This is the finest, most beautiful, perfecting setting powder for under the eyes, for pores. It's ungodly expensive, but you do get a travel size and a regular size, and the regular size is huge. This, I do believe, is the finest setting powder on the market. I know some other people really like the Sisley pressed one. I find that the La Prairie, for me, is the finest loose setting powder on the market. As far as pressed, the Givenchy and the Prada are really good, and it's really hard to beat, like the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder. That works so beautifully, you can use it anywhere, and that kind of is still the gold standard for pressed, but this, untouchable when it comes to a perfect look every time. Okay, so setting sprays. Well, there were some interesting ones that came out this year. First, I'll bring up the Fenty You Mist. Fenty used to have, and they may still have, a setting spray that comes in a bottle, and I liked it. But this one I think is actually quite an upgrade. It's got a fine mister. It's really lovely. It kind of is more of a extender, but it's also a refresher for makeup. Really nice. I like this, and it's pretty affordable. Okay, Danessa Myricks came out with this bad boy, which is the Liquid Blurring Balm Setting Powder. This is really interesting. So what I have found is it has that Upsolite technology that's in her balms, which has that really blurring, beautiful effect. The way that is recommended with this is to spray it on when you're done your makeup, wait about a minute, and then go back in with a puff and press it in. And it really creates a beautiful blurring effect. Now you can use it otherwise, it says you can use it by itself for a blurred look to set and smooth, or if you want that really beautiful blurred look, then let it set for about 2 minutes and then go in and press it in. It just has to be shaken a lot before you put it on. Pat McGrath came out with 2 setting sprays, and they're both quite nice. This is the Longwear Blurring Setting Spray. Very nice. It's going to give you kind of really beautiful, natural finish, and it's going to extend your makeup. Very nice. This is pretty spectacular. Earlier this year, she came out with the glass mask that you could put on, and that was really fun, but that was for editorial. You can't wear that out in public. It would crack and fall off your face. I have it. It's a fun product, but it wasn't really practical. This is really awesome. If you want just a nice glow, you can do 1 layer. If you want to really add the shine, you can just keep adding the layers. I wouldn't do more than maybe 3 or 4. It's not going to make you look like those glass dolls or those porcelain dolls, but it is going to give you a beautiful shine. And when I like this in particular is if I'm using a foundation that's a little more natural or matte. This can kick it up and give it some shine. And what I know a lot of people like to do is spray it everywhere and let it set, and then kind of highlight the upper parts here, and it gives just a little more glow and a little more shine. It's a really inventive product, and I really enjoyed it. She didn't come out with a ton of products this year, but this one, and then like I said, this one's quite perfecting, but then with that, the Rose Cream Moisturizer, she had some beautiful products, so I really liked that. Okay, so I'd say this has been a pretty good year when it comes to base products. Throughout the rest of the month, we'll take a look at, lips and cheek, and obviously I'm counting down my 55 palettes of the year throughout the month. But it's been a pretty good year, and some of these products will go into my sort of all-time favorites list. So if you like this kind of content and you enjoyed this video, then I really would appreciate liking, subscribing, following along, shopping my links, and sharing us so we can grow the community. And hey, look forward to 2026. We have those new products from Chanel that I showed you, YSL that I showed you, and we have that new concealer from Prada, which I'm really excited about because that foundation is fantastic. So good products here and some good things to look forward to. Okay, I'll see you all soon. Bye.